Well, it's finally here, our annual dose of the boys, but this time it's a little bit different. Based at Godolphin University, corruption, exploitation, and the pathway to getting into the Seven was shown to us, along with the side that they wanted hidden. Blood, guts, crudeness, graphic nature, everything that we love about the boys was present, so let's jump right in and break down what the hell is going on. Here is Gen V episode 1, 2, and 3 ending explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. What is the Woods? Well, it very much seems as though the main plot of this show is going to be based around the Woods, which is present underneath the university. Our main connection to it in the show is that Luke, also known as Golden Boy, also known as the second coming of Homelander, but don't tell him that, his brother was being kept down there along with many other supes. However, we don't actually know the reason why. It's positioned in a way that it's like a prison / what you'd expect a mental asylum to be like back in the turn of the 20th century. People locked up in bad conditions and being experimented on due to the fact that they couldn't function in society properly. We were told that Luke's brother Sam had schizophrenia, so it does make me wonder whether or not that could be the main reason as to why he's in there. And the fact that he has powers, they might think that it means that he poses too much of a risk to be integrated in society. That's just one assumption. We saw that Professor Brinkerhoff was behind the Woods and knew all about what was going on down there. But let's be honest, bro was playing Captain Hadley in Shawshank Redemption, so it's in his blood. I do think that there's more than meets the eye with this, as they told Luke that his brother had died, so they wanted him to no longer think about him. So I imagine we'll find out more as time goes on. Could they be running experiments, or is it just some kind of prison? Marie's motivation. The first episode started with us seeing Marie when she was younger and how she came to have the powers that she had. When she got her powers, we saw that she lost control and ultimately butchered her mother and father in an extremely brutal fashion, leaving only her sister alive, a sister that wanted nothing to do with her because she viewed her as a monster, and that was something that still impacted Marie right up until the present day. We saw that whenever she would be asked a question around why it was that she wanted to be in the Seven and be the #1 ranking at the university, she would always have flashbacks to the day where she discovered that she had powers and the slaughtering took place. When she found out that her sister was very much still around in the present day, we saw that Marie was intrigued to know where she was, but Dean Shetty kind of shut it down and said that the interviewer may have just been making it up. Personally, I don't think that's the case. I think Marie's sister could be out there somewhere and nearby. Judging by the risk that she could pose in bringing down Marie's reputation and leaking the story about what happened to her parents, what if she ends up being put in the Woods or being taken out by the authorities? It could be something that does end up happening. Shetty seems sus, and I feel we'll see more as time goes on. The different powers. The main characters in Gen V were shown to us, and like in the boys, there were a wide array of different powers that were present. Marie's powers and abilities enable her to essentially utilize the blood of herself or the blood of others as a weapon, allowing her to use it to grapple, to sharpen up and pierce, or in any kind of capacity, to the point where she can put the blood back inside of somebody and get it to circulate again. Luke, Golden Boy's powers were some that were extremely interesting, and I wish we could have seen them more. It seemed as though he had enhanced strength, the ability to fly, and also the ability to manipulate fire, allowing himself to control the flames that would be on him too. We also saw that he could spontaneously combust, the final thing that he did. RIP Luke. Andre has very interesting abilities too. It seems as though his main ability is telekinesis, and he can manipulate objects and things around him, allowing him to control it all with his mind, even tapping into systems and manipulating the programming that's inside of it. Kate has the power to control people's minds and get them to bend to her will just by touching them and whispering in their ear, hence why she wears gloves a lot of the time, so that she doesn't cause what happened to her brother in sending him away to happen to anybody else. A slip of the tongue could prove to be detrimental in her circumstances. Emma is a character that has the ability to go extremely small, like micro level. In order to get small, she has to make herself vomit, and then in order to get larger, she has to eat food to increase her size. It does make me wonder, if she were to overindulge and eat more calories than what her body can take, would she end up getting super large, like how she gets super small? And then Jordan Lee is a character that has the ability to change from being a boy to a girl, and also the ability to withstand impact, as we saw when Brink fired a weapon at them. What's extremely interesting about Jordan is the fact that they identify as both boy and girl and like aspects from both, but you can sense the conflict that's present in their family life due to their father not being accepting of it. So I feel it's a really interesting way for the show to tackle an issue like that. I even think the same with Marie and Emma's powers. Emma's was centered around a relationship with food, and Marie's was focused on her having to put herself through pain. So the show has taken a unique and serious approach with the way that the powers need to be activated, and so far they seem to be handling it delicately. Emma and Sam's connection. It's clear to see that Emma and Sam are going to form some kind of romantic relationship as the season goes on. This all came from the ending, with Emma making herself tiny and going down into the facility in the hopes of being able to report information back to Andre about what was going on down there. They got on quite well, and it seems as though Emma is going to be the person that's going to be able to get Sam out of there. With Andre telling Kate about what he found, it now most likely means that Jordan and Marie will now find out about it too, and then all of them along with Sam and Emma will team up with the hopes of exposing the terrible treatment that's happening, all whilst trying to remain in the top-ranking prospects at the university. People may appreciate the honesty, and they will become true heroes by exposing it, but we know how corrupt thought can be, so I'm not expecting it to go down well. Overall review. I thought this was such a good introduction to the show. I'm never normally a fan of having loads of episodes being released in the opening week, but I'm not gonna lie, I wanted more. This show has everything that we love about The Boys other than the cast, yet it's managed to forge its own identity without needing to rely on the pre-existing material that we're all familiar with. There were a ton of Easter eggs in these first 3 episodes, and I thought they got the balance of that well, because it wasn't overkill. It's clear to see that a lot of the students at the university, at least the high-ranking ones, resent their parents for what they did to them by giving them the compound V when they were younger. And it very much seems like the parents are solely out to exploit their kids in order to make money. That's something that we saw with Emma, Andre, and Jordan, so it's definitely a controversial issue amongst them. I like the secrecy around the woods and the corruption that seems to be present within the university. Everybody seems to know about the woods, and it's like if you seem to be talking about it, then you get yourself killed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the purpose of it is, and what exactly is going on down there. The casting director did a great job at getting this group of actors together for the cast because I feel instantly connected to them. Marie, Emma and Jordan's struggles, Andre's wit and sharp eye in wanting to make a difference, even Dean Shetty's cunning, evil and manipulative nature, they all seem to balance each other out well. It wouldn't be The Boys without blood, guts, crude humor and graphic nature, and my god, it took only a few minutes for us to see that. When watching this show, it's clear to see that there's nothing else like this that's out there. And I'm not even gonna lie on this one, it's ahead of all the Marvel stuff at the moment. That's grown to become tiresome, whereas this, there's a realness and relatability to it, and I think that's what one of the most compelling parts about this show is, so I can see why everybody loves it. I'm glad the show is as good as what I hoped it was going to be, and I hope it continues this quality with the more it goes on. Bring on next week's episode. So, there you have it, Gen V episode 1, 2 and 3 Ending Explained. If you want to see more videos such as Endings Explained, Theories and Predictions and Character Breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What did you think of the first 3 episodes? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.